proved in my last video that I really am not the sharpest tool in the shed. It's not easy being an old fat man in a cruel world, especially when you're kind of dumb. Anyhow, I was having trouble getting Flight Sim 2024 to work with my widescreen Pimax Super, and I was talking to Calvin from Pimax on our Discord, on the Pimax Discord, and he suggested, he asked me if I had version 2.0 of Pimax Play. I said yes. He said, do you have the OpenXR toolkit? And I said no. But I took that to mean that I needed to install it. So I found an old copy and installed it, and then Flight Sim 2024 seemed to work in VR. So I went back on the Discord and I said, great call, man, it's working now. He said, and I said, but I thought we didn't need the OpenXR toolkit anymore. He said, that's right, you shouldn't have it because it could make things screw up with the Pimax XR system running on it. Okay, I really am that dumb. So it must have been just a sheer fluke that it worked last time. I don't know. But it's always amusing to share my ineptitude with my friends. Let's find a place to take off from, shall we? And my last flight was at my home field when I was learning to fly, CYXE in Saskatoon. I've got a Textron Cessna 152. I downloaded a Camel, but I think I'd like to keep testing constant. Now in my first tests, I wasn't real happy with the frame rate I was getting or the clarity. And now I have a 5070 Ti video card. And in the last video I was a little happier with that because the widescreen looked good. But I'm still finding I need to do some tweaking. The frame rate's not where I think it should be. And at the same time it doesn't look as clear to me as I think it should be. Now part of that is I probably need new glasses myself. And maybe it's about time I got my eyes checked and maybe got some plug-in lenses for the Pimax headset, VR lenses, to compensate for my nearsightedness. I'm about 20/25 in one eye, about 20/30 in the other, so it's okay for driving, but that might be why things don't look as good as they used to when I was 20/20 in one eye, 20/25 in the other. But we'll see what's going on here. I just, as you know, I'm firing the game up and rambling because that's what I do. If there was a Finn Does Sims clock, it wouldn't go tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. It would go talk, 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 talk. Any second now it should put us on the runway, and then I'll get us into VR and make sure my headset's working. Oh, there we are. Here we go. Boy, it seems pretty slow though. I don't know what's going on. I also had to reinstall Windows, and it just seems very slow. And yet I don't want to go to Windows 11 because I've heard so many horrible things about it. If you've had a good experience with Windows 11 in Flight Sim, then let me know that. All right, let's try Flight Sim VR.
Saskatoon Tower, Cessna X-Ray Alpha Foxtrot Oscar X-Ray at runway 27 ready for departure, straight out departure.
Headset position needs to come down a bit. Okay. Now it wants to go up. Down. Oh, it's a fussy little bugger, isn't it? Okay, now why haven't I got it in the game? That's a good question, isn't it? Okay, this is what happened before. I have the black screen of death. Oh, now here it is. Look ahead.
Cessna X.
Okay, all right.
Cleared for
Now
takeoff,
maybe we
runway
can do this.
27. Cessna Foxtrot.
Let's
Oscar
try this
X-ray.
again. Never give up, never surrender. Galaxy Quest, what a movie.
Okay, now it's working. I just need to hit the shift key if I can find it in VR. There it is. It still wants me to adjust the head position. There we go. Head position is apparently okay. All right, so things are looking pretty good. I'm just going to let the AI taxi us out to the center of the runway while I tighten on my headset. I've got the better headset strap and headphones, earphones, audio phones for this. I haven't installed them yet, though. I've just been bloody lazy. It's all part of the rich tapestry of life and the wonderfulness of me. I'm getting old and lazy. All right. Not much wind to speak of. Let's take the park brake off. I've got what looks like 1 notch of flaps. Full mix, full throttle, and away we go. Actually, the cockpit looks so good, I reflexively reached for the yoke in the video instead of my joystick, which is hilarious when you think about it. Should be able to get off the ground about now. All right. Let's just get over the center of the runway if we can. I'm trying to look around and describe how it looks, and it looks okay. I'm not getting a frame rate count here, but it feels pretty smooth. I'd estimate around 30 frames per second. I haven't figured out to get VR, FPS VR working with an XR game. If I run this in Steam, it'll give me that version. The one thing I do like, well, there's a lot of things I like about this headset, but something I really like is that if I do this, the view is really, really clear. I can read all the print, and you might not be able to. It'll look pretty small on your view, I'm sure. But let's go to VR and check our settings here. Nvidia DLSS Super Resolution, yes. And I've got it set for performance. I'm going to bump it up to, will it let me? No. Quality. Okay, let's try quality. Wait a minute. Is there more? No, let's go back to quality. Foveated rendering. That should be on. No, I guess it was on. Not sure how to get dynamic foveated rendering, which I thought was available in this sim now. Everything else will leave the same. Let's see what it looks like when I save and go back. And resume the flight. On va résumer. I mean, it looks really good. I don't see a lot of artifacting or weird colors, but I can't say that I notice a huge difference in image quality between this and my Crystal OG. I mean, the Crystal OG was pretty amazing, and it still is. And if you've got a Crystal Light, you might notice more of a difference. I'm not sure. I don't think you can do foveated rendering on the Crystal Light. But on the other hand, it's a fairly inexpensive headset and provides great resolution. Unless you're hardcore like I am, you might not want to go to the Super. And if you do go to the Super, you might not want the wide version. It might be with the narrower view, you get a little higher resolution. Like, to me, the buildings don't look as crisp as they could. And again, though, what's so weird is I find this headset to be extremely sensitive in regards to its placement on my face. my big fat Charlie Brown face. So when I get that right, that seems to help. I did calibrate the other day, so I hope that helps. Let's just cruise around here a little bit. Get clear of the airport. We've still got a little snow on the ground in Saskatoon in real life. Here it is, middle of April. Snow's melting. We had some snow a few days back. I've seen it snow on the prairies in Canada as late as the last day of May. Yuck. We better take some flaps off here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Now let's head for downtown and we'll see if we can pick out some of the landmarks. Looks a little hazy. I'm going to throttle back and descend a bit. I see cars on the road. That's cool. Once when I was training, we witnessed a car accident on one of the main thoroughfares, and it was kind of horrifying. So here's the downtown area. It's really quite a lovely little city, especially in the summer, with all the bridges and parks. And lots to do here with the blues festival and a jazz festival, and there's a folk festival, I think. There's all sorts of things going on in the summer. In winter, well, in winter there's lots of cross-country skiing if you can stand the cold, which I can't. I'm just getting too old for it. And I've never liked cross-country skiing. I like downhill skiing, but you know, the truth is I wasn't very good at either of them. Well, you know, as we get closer to the ground, this is just looking better and better to me. Let's see if I can find the Bessborough Hotel. Built by, I think, CP Rail in the 30s. When they built the railway across Canada, the government awarded about 10% of the best land in the country to the railroads. And in return, they built some wonderful hotels. You go to Banff Springs, it's great there. Quebec City has a hotel. That's a place I recommend you visit if you want to come to Canada. I mean, Quebec City is just beautiful. And they have an excellent golf course. Several of them, in fact. But they have the oldest golf course in Canada, the Royal Quebec. I played there last summer. I love Quebec City. And if you don't speak French, they'll try to help you out as much as they can. All right, so it looks like I'm getting some artifacting on this building. This is, no, I guess as I get closer, it's not bad. Again, I can't say that I'm exactly disappointed, but it's not quite as good as I expected. And that might be because I'm using DLSS. Now, if I had a powerful enough computer to run this with a different anti-aliasing program, I didn't need to use Nvidia's DLSS. It would probably look a little better. But I'll bet my frame rate would be about 10. They call Saskatoon the city of bridges. It's got 5 or 6 bridges now. And Saskatchewan is, you know, almost the potash capital of the world. Lots of resources here. They have oil, potash, more heavy oil in tar sands up north than even Alberta has. But the government here, I think, is rightfully slow to develop it because I think we're all waiting for ways to make it environmentally friendly. We have a lot of people living, well, not a lot of people, but we have people living in the north, First Nations people in particular, And everybody in Saskatchewan, well, almost everybody, we all like fishing and hunting, and we're a little bit concerned about damaging the environment. So we're taking a pretty cautionary view on developing the oil sands, but they're there. And we have uranium. I think there's even a gold mine here now. I'm not sure. Airspeed's a little high. I know I've made the runway, so let's throttle back. Yeah, this will be fine. Yeah, my frame rate seems to be jumping around quite a bit here. Like right now, it's gotten low enough that looking through the prop and stuff, there's lag. I've got some lag, and it's a little bit nauseating, to tell you the truth. I wonder if something's going on in the background that's slowing my computer down. But this 5070 Ti is not what I would say right now markedly better than my 3090 was. But I could be wrong. I usually am. I'm going to have to spend some time setting this up. But right now, wow, that final approach was actually making me nauseous. I love the prop animation, but wow, I'm definitely getting some lag. So there's something going on here that I'm not crazy about. Anyhow, let's get out of VR. Oh, take the old headset off and end the flight. So what can I tell you so far? Well, I've done a few videos with the Pimax Super Ultrawide, and I think this is the best it's looked for me. Before it was with my 3090, of course, and I had settings turned down, but it still looked okay. I think it's the first time I've been able to use it on the wide setting instead of the standard. But right now I'm going to have to talk to people who know more about this than I do, which is almost everybody. I'll talk to my friend Steve over at VR Flight Sim Guy and see what I can find out in the Discords. Because I really think I should be getting better performance than I am off this 5070 Ti in my IBM CPU with 32 gigs of RAM. So we'll see how it works out. In the meantime, I enjoy the process, and I'm eternally grateful for you coming around to share the journey with me and putting up with my yap. It's a good thing I've got a deep voice, or people would mistake me for a chihuahua. A fat chihuahua. Okay, have a great day, and thanks for coming by.